Although, speaking of doing things, shall we finally do something we've been holding back for a while?
Hooray!
Yes, people, we are finally doing a matchup. Now, before we say, we have reasons why we delayed this for so long. Of course, mate was going to RTX, but then he had to go to surgery, so you know what? Life came first, alright? And plus, it just gave them more time to get notes for this fight.
Yeah, and
I mean, mine are just up here anyway.
I bet people are wondering why specifically Eren versus Monster Hunter.
Specifically Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, so this was the suggestion that I had. And the whole premise and theming of this was these are both warriors that use their enemies as weapons and armor to kill those enemies. Monster Hunter uses monsters of her world, and Eren uses titans.
I mean, he doesn't use titans, he just becomes one.
It's
You
kind
know
of
what I mean, though.
Yeah. And plus, it was really hard to find a Sean and Mate matchup.
And plus, this was before I watched Chainsaw Man. Because Eren versus Denji sounds fun.
Alright, and so, as it says, so it's Monster Hunter versus Eren. So Sean's gonna go everything with Monster Hunter, then we're gonna hear Mate, and then so we're gonna spend 10 minutes on Monster Hunter, 10 minutes on Eren, and then 25 minutes. You guys debate it. After that timer, I conclude who I think wins.
Ooh, we're upgrading to 25 this time. Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like last time
I-
we did. I think it's kind of good because if we're doing a series with like long run-in characters, then we need more time to explain them. So you got to think the last time it was Reinhard versus Nora, they haven't been around as long as like Attack on Titan or Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
So
I can understand that.
We'll upgrade it to 25 minutes. If people do like the 25-minute debate, then you know we'll upgrade to that. If people prefer the other way, we'll do that. So then,
Or we can just go until we have nothing else.
pretty much.
Whichever comes first.
Right then, so I've set my timer to 10 minutes. So Sean, are you ready to represent Monster Hunter?
I think I'm ready.
Yeah, now I should say, people, we're not Death Battle. This is merely for shits and giggles. If we say one person wins and it could be more one side than we think, we don't think that deep into it when we first go. Most of the time we just throw these to the wind and see if we like them.
Yeah.
So, right then, your time starts now.
So, in the year of 2018, Capcom released Monster Hunter World, and here we are introduced to the Monster Hunter. Well, yes, you can be like, oh, but you can just create your own character. They gave her an official design in Marvel vs. Capcom. Well, there's that. But no, it's not like an RPG game where you pick skill trees and everything. There's none of that. The Monster Hunters is going to a new world to investigate elder dragons and wonder what's going on and why they are migrating there. And with Monster Hunter training, they became a Class A hunter, which is a high rank hunter. And eventually, when they are actually attacked before they even get to the island by a giant, what I can describe as a giant hot rock. You know the Pokemon, what's its name? The fully evolved Carkol? It's a giant form of that, essentially. So Monster Hunter had to fight their way to the island and onto base camp, where they investigate the Elder Dragons and why they are hibernating there.
Dovahking. I'm sorry.
Now they don't get shouts. What they
Continue.
do get is a fun little companion called a Palico. And they are adorable. Palicos typically are taking the form of a variety of cats. And Palicos are a faithful Monster Hunter companion that they've had since training and are willing to take them to the new world, despite, giant monsters at least 2 times your size there. Oh, don't worry, Stripes will be fine, they said. But as a Monster Hunter, what do you need to hunt monsters? Weapons. And the guild was very, and I mean very generous to the Monster Hunter here. As you can select from a different total of 14 types of weapons. Some of them are pretty standard, you got the great sword, sword and shield, dual blades, a long sword, hammers, lances, pretty standard, right? Then you can get complicated with a gun lance. It's a lance, but also a gun.
This isn't Ruby.
I think they were inspired from Ruby when they made that weapon, actually. The gun lance is also a part of shield because, it's a giant lance, and they shoot shells and not bullets. There's also the switch axe, which is a sword that, when combined with its other piece, can form an axe.
What is this, Bloodborne?
No, that would be the next weapon, the charge blade, which is a sword and shield combo, which can be combined into, you guessed it, an axe. It also can store electricity discharges when it takes hits. Though at the cost of being able to damage themselves, because it's not perfect. There's also hunting horns, musical weapons that can give the Monster Hunter variety of buffs, not butts. Unless they're haunting the monster's butts. They also have the insect glaive, bows and arrows, and the bow gun. It can shoot shells or be turned into a rapid-fire minigun. The heavy would be proud. Of course, palicos are faithful companions that are quite adorable, but Monster Hunter's biggest thing is their ability to track. By feeling the ground and observing footprints, dung, bones, or even just smelling the air and scratches on walls, they can track a giant beast and learn its patterns. And to help maneuver around, because, islands are fucking massive, they're also given grappling hooks, which can help them climb walls, hook on the flying creatures, or even pull themselves on top of creatures and ride them. Giddy up, pony!
Okay, I didn't know they had a grappling hook.
Yeah, you see it early on, too, when they use it. And that's how they travel from their base camp to the island. They hook onto a flying creature and just travel that way. They also have a dodge roll, much like the Chosen Undead.
Of course they do. I'm going to pause the timer here because I actually want to ask this question. I'll pause the timer and I want to ask a question. So this grappling hook, is there a limit to it? That is the question.
It doesn't necessarily have a limit. It has a certain range, and you can knock the grappling hook off target, but it doesn't have any fuel or anything, if that's what you mean.
Interesting. All right, then I shall resume. You've got 5 minutes and 17 seconds now.
The guild has also been generous with the Monster Hunter by giving them a fishing rod. Yes, they can fish, a net to capture things, or even a whetstone. And for those who don't know what a whetstone does, it allows you to sharpen your blades, because let's be honest, it can get dull after cutting through so many hides. They've also given them, well, by default, I want to point this out, by default, because you can't craft the game, but by default, the guild has given the Monster Hunter different ammos and potions. And also, the Monster Hunters can rely on these little creatures called scout flies. They can identify points of interest or possibly where tracks are for certain monsters. And after the Monster Hunter has killed monsters, they've upgraded their tools. The most common one that you've seen in Marvel vs. Capcom is that shiny red armor, the Armor of Rathalos. Badass name, by the way.
That actually does sound pretty sick.
This is one of the two armors that's most commonly used in outside media for Monster Hunter. It basically allows them to get better defenses for fire and water resistance. Outside, you're weak against dragons and thunder. I don't get how that makes sense, but whatever. And the other form of armor they were giving was the Kirin armor, which grants higher defense against lightning, dragon, and being weak to fire and ice.
Sorry, for a second I thought you said Karen armor.
I thought he said that too. I'm pausing the timer just to talk. I want to speak to your manager,
you could
Dragon.
Make a Karen. You could make a Karen armor if you hunted enough.
I was really thinking, do I pause the timer to make that joke? No, that makes sense. Like, okay, we had to acknowledge it. I thought he said Karen too.
Can you imagine, though, wearing an armor that protects you from being yelled at and makes you immune to being fired.
I want to speak to your manager. I wear the Karen armor. Fuck! Alright, let's resume the timer. Go on, Sean.
Yeah, on Monster Hunter's journey, she has done quite a lot. And for some reason, I found this funny that I did this in game. They gave them a cooking spit so they can rotate meat and eat it after they cook it. I don't know why it's a thing, but whatever. But yeah, overall, eventually Monster Hunter finds out why the dragons were migrating and have defeated giant dragons, even though it was a very hard task to do for them. But overall, Monster Hunter is never going to give up the hunt. No matter where you are, if you are within tracking, nay, smelling range of Monster Hunter, be warned, your days are numbered. I think that's all I got for basic background for Monster Hunter without going into feats.
Alright then, so you still had 2 minutes and 45 seconds, but do you want to end it there and we'll just let Mate have his 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think that's what I got about bringing up feats of like what Monster Hunter's gone up against.
Alright, fair enough. Alright then, Mate, are you ready to represent the Attack on Titan rep for their first representation, Lads Discuss Death Battle?
Might as well be.
Might as well be. You're just winging it, aren't you?
Plus, look at it this way. You can finally talk about Attack on Titan since we kind of robbed you of Blake versus Mikasa.
Yeah,
I mean, kinda.
You can blame Sean for that.
The fuck did I do?
And we're starting the timer now. Are you actually ready, mate?
Yeah, okay, so our story takes place in a town called Shiganshina within the Wool, Maria.
It's me, Maria.
And within this city, like in this Wool, Eren Yeager was living a happy, normal life. He gets to see all these people from the Survey Corps coming back from fighting monstrous beasts called Titans, and he's like, they're the most badass people around. Fight Titans and they're not scared of anything. Oh, they're so cool. I want to be one of them one day. Sounds like a pretty normal kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then, everything went to shit when the Colossal Titan came knocking.
Hi, how are you?
And by knocking, I mean kicking the gate open and destroying part of the wall. Yeah, Titans came in, killed a whole bunch of people, and his mother got crushed underneath his childhood house.
I'm ready. Depression.
And despite him and his adoptive sister Mikasa trying to save her, they were taken away by a soldier, and all they could do was watch as their mother was eaten alive. And just throwing this out there, that's the first episode.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And
that happened to me once.
And after his home was massacred by these Titans, with tears in his eyes and a heart full of a white-hot rage, he vows to slaughter every last Titan in existence. I can't remember exactly how old he is at this point, but he is one angry lad. So he joins the military to learn how to use the ODM gear to fight Titans on their own level. And he actually makes a whole bunch of friends. Things are looking up for him. Then the Titans return. And upon trying to fight off these Titans, things kind of go to shit with him again. Mid-flight, he gets his leg bitten off.
Ouch.
Yeah, and then a bunch of his friends get killed, and his best friend from childhood, Armin, is about to be swallowed alive. So Eren leaps into that Titan's mouth, grabs his friend, like, down that Titan's throat, throws him out, while holding this Titan's jaw open, while missing a leg, by the way.
Fucking badass.
Yeah, but then the Titan closes its mouth, which takes his arm off and swallows him. Only, surprise, bitch, he can transform into one of those Titans. And he does it while inside that Titan and just rips his way out from within. It's actually a really badass moment.
Hopefully Bill puts the scene on screen about being copywritten.
I'll just make it black and white. Just like Eren's life.
And, well, there was some trial and error, literally. There was a trial, and he got his face kicked in like crazy by Levi. It took a while for everyone in the military to warm up to him, but he basically became their trump card against the Titan threats. Though, unfortunately, some people were after him because of his abilities and other secrets that he held. There's a whole lot of like twists I don't want to get like too into, but he had to return to his childhood home, which meant sealing the wall, exterminating a whole bunch of Titans, and uncovering a few big conspiracies about the world. And he was only 15.
I can definitely say Eren's been through a lot of shit compared to Monster Hunter.
Yeah, honestly, you remember when I said, like, he vowed to kill every last one of them? Some Guts parallels?
I was going to say, I think Guts would have a lot of respect for Eren.
Jesus Christ, imagine Guts in his Berserker armor and Eren in his Titan form fighting side by side.
Oh, that would be a cross. I'm not a huge Attack on Titan fan, but that is a crossover I would watch. I mean, it would be better than the Marvel
want Eren
one.
If people want Eren back for another Lads debate, comment down below Guts versus Eren next.
I mean, it's a
Oh
better...
no, here's a fantastic idea for a manga panel. Eren in his Titan form picks up Guts while in the Berserker armor and just chucks him at something like a friggin' bullet as he's just holding the Dragon Slayer.
I mean, it sounds a lot cooler than when Marvel and Attack on Titan did their crossover. God, that comic sucked.
Eren wasn't even in that.
It was just an ad.
Probably why it sucked, but continue, mate.
Nor Mikasa. Like, I would have forgiven it if it just had Mikasa. Anyway.
It had Spider-Man at least.
Yeah. Okay, so I will get into this bit. So there are 9 special Titans that, while human, can transform. Eren has a few of them. Because, so the people in Attack on Titan, they're Eldians, or subjects of Ymir. They can transform into Titans should they consume the spinal fluid of those who have the Titan transformation.
I'm not going to read too much into that.
Yeah, well, first they have to get transformed into a mindless Titan, then eat the person who has that Titan form. Eren has 3. The one that we see is the Attack Titan. Title drop, kind of. The Founding Titan, which is like the big boss one. And the last one that was revealed in the manga, the Warhammer Titan. Which, I love that name so much. And with all these Titan powers, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Eren kind of kickstarts a big war and attempts to end the world.
As one does.
Huh. I didn't expect Eren to become a villain.
Yeah, well, admittedly, that was also just part of his plan, because no matter how everything was going to turn out, his people, his friends, were gonna live a doomed existence. They would always be looked down upon by the rest of the world just because of like their ancestors before them.
Oh, fair enough.
So his plan was, well, seemingly to wipe out every other nation so that only they lived. I should say, big spoiler for the anime. Because I'm basically about to say how it all ends. Yeah, turned out Eren's plan the whole time was actually to unite the world, including his own friends, against him. So that way, when they stopped him, they would be seen as heroes, while also ending the Titan threat for good.
That can't be
Is
how
this
it's...
man playing?
What?
Is this man playing 5D chess?
Yeah, actually.
What?
Like, Eren manipulates everyone.
That... What?
I think you broke Bill.
Yeah, that is... That can't be how Attack on Titan ends. Surely not. I
Wish I could tell you no.
I was hearing people had mixed opinions about the ending of Attack on Titan. I'm starting to see why.
I'm not gonna question the Attack on Titan fan.
I'm not questioning him either. I'm just thinking, this was how they wanted the story to go, and that was your 10 minutes, mate.
Yeah. I just want to end it quickly on like a big thing while you're doing that tangent.
Yeah, sure,
Like,
go ahead.
But no matter what the world throws at him, whether it be Titans, like entire armies, Eren will keep fighting for one simple thing: freedom.
That was a good end speech, I will say that much. But, man, that ending.
Okay, wow. This is definitely an interesting one.
Right then, so
Honestly.
I guess 25 minutes. You guys are going to debate. I say nothing, and I'll only pause and ask questions regarding if I'm confused about something. But any questions I ask or chime in, I'll pause the timer.
Okay, so this one, something that's been on my mind about this is that, yeah, it's unlikely sword combat is going to be the way this fight would end. But it's hard to tell who actually takes the advantage in sword combat.
It'd be how it starts, though. The thing is, Eren doesn't use the ODM gear like a lot. In fact, it takes him like until season 2 to get his first ODM kill.
Yeah, but I'm saying that because they both have had a lot of training with like sword-like weapons and like their maneuvering ability. So it's hard to say who actually would take a win in sword fight because a lot of characters they've gone up against aren't sword fighters.
Alright, well, with all that said and done, shall we start the timer?
I thought you started the timer already.
Yeah,
No,
I
no.
thought we were already going.
No, sorry. I thought you guys wanted to say your little speeches first. Alright, we are starting the timer now.
Yeah, as I'm saying, it's like, I don't know necessarily, like, because some people are going to ask, well, what if they just fought with just weapons and their natural, like, armor? It's hard to say, like, who takes the advantage in that case.
Yeah, I will say Eren never uses the Thunder Spears.
That was a concern I had because Rathalos armor is weak to thunder damage.
Well, I mean, the Thunder Spears don't use actual, like, lightning. It's literally just the name.
And obviously Eren's not a dragon, so the dragon weakness won't apply to the downside of Rathalos armor either.
Well, I mean, I say that there's no actual thunder from the Thunder Spears. However, here's a shot of Eren biting his hand to transform, and yeah, that's how he does it. He just, like, bites into his own hand.
Can that thunder hurt anybody? Because it looks like these people are completely fine. It's just like a shockwave.
Yeah, honestly, it's weird. It just doesn't hit anyone. I'd be amazed if no one actually did get hit. Also, this doesn't really have much to do with anything, but Eren biting into his hand. Here's what he does when it doesn't work.
Oh, wait, so it can fail?
No, that's only like while he was still training with it. By his peak, he can just do it on the fly.
Okay.
Ouch.
I do
Yeah.
think right.
Oh, I hate looking at that. It's just him like really tearing into himself.
I do think right off the bat, though, I will like just sword combat alone. Monster Hunter has versatility in the bag, because you said 9 forms of Titans. There's 14 different types of weapons the guild's given Monster Hunter.
Yeah, so let's actually get into some feats now. So, yeah, bring up some feats, boys.
So, I think one of the biggest things that surprised me was being able to avoid attacks from Rathalos, who can go supersonic, and Kieran, who has lightning breath. And again, Kieran is called the being with lightning, so it makes sense. Monster Hunter can also survive giant falls, and you take no damage to your health. Like, I don't know how. And even early on, we've seen Monster Hunter fall at least 10,000 feet from the air with no armor on, get up, and she was fine.
Wait, is this like a gameplay thing?
No, the 10,000 feet thing was actually a cutscene.
Oh, okay.
It's the first. It's when you get dropped off. It was like very early on. I'm like, hot damn. To be fair, I lowballed the height to be 10,000 feet because that's the height of like a lot of aircrafts.
Right, fair enough.
I do think Monster Hunter has versatility in the bag, honestly, especially since they have a Palico with them. It's kind of like a handicap match for Eren at that point.
Just in terms of like weaponry, but when Eren transforms, that's when the fight really starts.
Or certain.
Yeah. In fact, that's when I would say the versatility goes to Eren. Foreshadowing.
I don't think so. I think Monster Hunter still has that.
Just wait. Okay, so along his journey, Eren learned how to harden his Titan body. Yeah, get it out of your system, Bill.
What was it? What? I don't get it.
Okay, then.
I was confused. Like, what?
Anyway, he mostly channels it into his fist with enough force to shatter the armored Titan's armor. And remember that thing was tough enough to bust a hole in Walmaria? In fact, it was also able to tank the Colossal Titan nuke. So, Armored Titan is not to be messed with.
Yeah.
And Eren can punch his armor off.
Okay, so how durable of this armor is it? That's what I want to know.
Let me see if I can actually find a good representation of the Colossus.
Well, I will say this, that the reason I would say Monster Hunter has versatility still is because of the bow gun. The guild gave Monster Hunter different ammos for the bow gun. So they're always going to have an option available to load in. And I think a big counter could be, where is it? Specifically, aha, here it is. Ammo types, one of the ammo types that the guild gave Monster Hunter is piercing ammo, which is designed to pierce giant metal hides.
That is actually kind of interesting.
Alright, this is from a vast distance. This is just what happens when the Colossus Titan transforms.
That's big boom.
Wow.
Yeah. The Armored Titan can survive that, and Eren can destroy that armor.
Okay, so it seems to be on a scale of like a nuke, maybe.
Yeah, and that's just Eren's fists.
I do think that armor can definitely take those hits. With some monsters that hunters fought, like for example, Hellblade Faudalis. You know, the same thing that leveled that the ship, and it's the size of basically an island. Yeah, so I think Monster Hunter's armor is gonna survive that, honestly.
Oh, if only Eren had more than his fists.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, remember when I brought up the Warhammer Titan?
Yes.
Yeah, it has pretty unique ability the rest of the 9 don't, where it can create any weapon it wants. Like, they just manifest. And in that GIF, you can see Eren's Titan body. Let me just pull up the image real quick. This is what happened to him.
Oh,
That's
damn.
kind of insane.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Eren ate this thing and gained that power for himself. So he can just
well-
conjure weapons or spikes out of the ground or his own body.
Oh wow.
Yeah, okay, that is interesting to say the least. But a thing that I'm surprised you didn't bring up is, can Eren actually heal himself if he takes damage? 'Cause Monster
Yeah,
Hunter has-
actually.
Monster Hunter, I think, has more ways to heal than Eren does, whether it be the potions that they were given by the guild, or their Palico can use the bigger wasp spray to heal them. Or they just eat meat and they're fine.
Yeah, Titans just have a natural healing factor. Or at least, like, the 9 Titans, whether it be in their Titan form or their human form. Like, Eren's lost limbs and regrew them, like, well, once across hours and then minutes.
I do think with Monster Hunter's superior speed, she might be able to kill Eren in Titan form.
But here's the real kicker.
What do you think that would be?
Well, the only way to kill a Titan, or like even stop a Titan shifter, you have to go for a specific weakness.
The back of the neck?
Yep.
Monster Hunter can figure that out.
How exactly?
If they can track and identify creatures just from dung and scratches on the wall, they can observe that. And also, the charge axe is designed to transform into an axe that can hit those hard-to-reach places. With the charge axe, Monster Hunter can hit that weakness and either just electrocute Eren or just cut the head off in one single blow.
Though, question. Is he... Okay, can he figure out those weaknesses because he's familiar with monsters in his world? Never seen a Titan before. There's no way of knowing that just off the bat, upon seeing it for the first time.
They didn't know what any of these creatures were in the new world, so Monster Hunter was able to figure them out and what their weaknesses were. So yes, they can identify it as the fight goes on.
Alright, I'm actually going to pause the
Okay.
timer. So, regarding the healing factors, so are you saying as long as the Titans, or like the user of the Titan form, is still within the body, they can just keep regrowing their limbs? Or is it just a bit inconsistent? Depending on how much damage they take from the hit, it could like rupture their healing factor temporarily? Like, let's say for instance,
Yeah, it's
like if you got hit
weird. Like,
if you get hit with a strong enough blow, it could daze you too much that your healing factor doesn't register. Or it's the fact that, but if you survive like an arm getting cut off, because it wasn't such a massive blow, you can easily grow back, so you're fully focused on growing that.
yeah, okay, it's a little weird. Like, there have been times in Attack on Titan where like Shifter has like lost part of their body, but they like regrow it, like, and keep fighting no problem.
Alright. That's my
And then there's
question.
times where they do get knocked out for quite a while. It's weird.
Alright, that's my question. I shall resume the timer.
Okay. Oh, and actually, that reminds me of something. Thank you, Billy. The Armor Titan, his human form, Reiner, he got blown up. Like, his head was gone. However, he was still alive. How? Because, and I quote, he transferred his consciousness to elsewhere in his body.
Like how Jake one-shifted all his organs, or like, is that more of a spiritual thing?
Spirit mind, like, it just says that he transferred his consciousness elsewhere in his body so that he could live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a thing Titan shifters can do. It's weird. This show is weird. But
Yeah.
awesome.
I'll admit that. It's definitely a weird show, but it does sound like both these two are very defense heavy.
Yeah, in
Oddly
fact, like, we talked about Guts before and like all the pain he can endure. Eren, there's at one point he got impaled in like several places while he was still in human form. And it was just his pure anger and rage that was keeping him going.
So, a question I do want to ask, mate, because the insect glaive is designed for this purpose, one of the 14 weapons. How's Eren's defense against stuff like poison?
Well, he's never dealt with that in the show.
Have any of the Titans gone against poison?
No, it never comes up.
So is it possible that the poison can just weaken Eren, even in Titan form?
Well, that's hard to say because like there's no evidence for that, but there's no evidence against that.
Or even
Like you
another...
could argue that the healing factor would just protect him from it.
Actually, let me ask Sean this then. Has this poison worked on giant monsters like Titans? Because Monster Hunter's about fighting giant monsters, right? So let's say, for instance, the monster you brought up, the island-sized one, can the poison hurt that?
I believe it didn't harm that because of a rock-like exterior, but it has harmed Kirin, the being of lightning.
Okay, so it can hurt giant monsters. Okay, interesting.
Right.
That is my question. I shall resume timer.
I think another thing is that...
That's all I'm saying this episode.
I don't know how Eren's going to stop the different ammo types also, like piercing ammo is designed to go through armor, or even wyvern fire.
Yeah, you can just harden his body to, like, block that.
But I think the piercing ammo is specifically designed to go through armored hides, and with wyvern fire, that might be enough to kill Eren without him being in Titan form.
Okay, I will admit, there's a type of live ammo that does, like, pierce through the armored Titan, so it might be on a similar level to that.
Well, actually,
Though,
I guess I'll ask this question now. So, Sean, this type of ammo, is there any... So, you've obviously been researching this. Is there any sort of, like, feat you could probably get? Has there been, like, an ant monster stated how tough their skin is, and we can sort of determine how strong the bullets are to use against them?
Depends on the monster. Let's see here. Because as far as like power level wise, these ammos can harm stuff like Faudalis or even Zora, which are defined according to a lot of research at small country size level.
Okay, that's still very vague. Like, what can you give us like how what like I don't know? It's only like Wikipedia's on them or encyclopedias in their games where it says this monster is stated to be able to survive nuclear waste or something like that.
Well, this one's weird because it's magic related. There's a monster called Altreon, and Monster Hunter has able to beat Altreon, whose ways are stated to cut through space and time.
What? Okay, I want to pause the timer. I need to hear more about this.
I think this is just a bestiary note, to be fair, so it's hard to say if it's demonstrated.
Okay, well, you know, I'll resume timer then. You guys can keep on doing it. I really hope more details goes about that monster. Continue.
But I do think that Monster Hunter has the different tools that actually can harm Eren, whether it be poison, piercing ammo, or wyvern fire. Not to mention, they have better healing options than Eren. Eren just has his body, whereas Palicos can heal him, they can eat food to recover, or just drink a potion and they're fine. I will admit, Eren, you can argue Eren is definitely more powerful considering Monster Hunter needs the weapons to kill the monsters. But I think speed-wise, how is Eren gonna hit Monster Hunter?
I guess that should go into the next thing. There's speed comparisons. So, obviously Monster Hunters first. Let's hear this.
As stated earlier, Monster Hunter was able to defeat Kirin, the being of lightning who has lightning breath. And that's even something like 10 meters away with a dodge roll, they can avoid that lightning breath consistently and able to defeat them. Hell, they eventually get an armor like that. I think that might be fast enough compared to whatever Eren has, but there is another note I can bring up if they're even on that category.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try and argue that, yeah, the fastest Attack on Titan characters get is bullet timing.
Well, even in their Titan forms, they don't have any, like, sound breaking speed or anything like that?
Yeah, there's no, like, lightning dodging feats in Attack on Titan.
Oh, really? I really thought in Eren's Titan form that might give him a speed advantage. After all, like, isn't the whole idea of a Titan form you're moving faster, you're stronger and stuff like that?
No, like, if you want, like, a faster Titan, then you want the Jaw Titan, which Eren has caught before.
Alright.
In fact, like, okay, pause the timer. I just want to talk about this. It's just how Eren ate. Yeah, this is just how Eren ate the Warhammer. So, the Warhammer, like, is different in terms of the weakness. Like, the person isn't on the back of the neck. They're in, like, a crystal that's, like, underground and, like, connected to the Titan's foot by, like, an umbilical cord sort of thing. But it's, like, hardened crystal that most things can't get through. So what Eren does is he grabs the Jaw Titan, shoves that crystal in his mouth, and just, like, uses him as a nutcracker.
That's one way to do it.
Interesting.
Right then, so I guess before I resume the timer, we can definitely confirm that the Monster Hunter's faster, even in Eren's Titan
definitely.
form. That's interesting. Alright then, you guys have got 10 minutes
plus-
remaining.
I have one last thing I could bring up.
Go for it.
It's pretty big. I need to ask. Sean, is the Monster Hunter of royal blood?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Interesting you bring that up, but here's a couple more notes on Alterion for Bill's sake. It is confirmed its wings and horn are able to cut through space and time that destroys the world.
Wow, really? I thought these were guys that just hunted
Alterion.
monsters.
And Elder Dragons. Alterion's an Elder Dragon. And Alterion can knock the Hunter down in like one body slam attack. And Monster Hunter was able to beat them. But it took a lot out of them. I think definitely endurance-wise, these two can just keep on going and going. But I think with Monster Hunter's special tools, superior speed, I think Monster Hunter takes it.
Right, so
I think if I do think that if that thunder though, that could damage Monster Hunter if it actually was able to hit people. That's something I'm still kind of thrown off with.
alright, so you guys have got 8 minutes. I'm just going to pause it because.
Well, if he's just, like, naturally conductive, then...
Oh, no, it's the weakness of the Wrath of those armor specifically. It's specifically weak against lightning.
Yeah, for some reason the anime just never shows anyone being hit by it. Which, you know what? That could have been a lightning dodging feat for one of the characters, but Isayama decided, nah, I'm not going to show that, despite how awesome it would be.
But Bill was about to ask a question.
Yeah, so
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
8 minutes remaining. So I think the final thing I want to talk about is is there any sort of feat you can scale other characters to for Monster Hunter and Eren? Like, what type of, like let's say, for instance, let's go with durability, actually. Like, you know, like, how long does it take for them to be worn down before they get finished off? Like, for instance, let's talk about Eren's, you know, final moments in Attack on Titan. Spoilers, people.
Okay, So I'm gonna have to bring up the thing that I was gonna go into with the whole royal blood thing before. And that's the founding Titan power. So only those of royal blood can use that power, which Eren is not. But they found a workaround. If he makes contact with someone of royal blood, then he can use its power.
Oh, and given his opponent...
Yeah, that's why I asked if he was of royal blood.
No.
Wow. For
Yeah,
once being
so-
a poor bitch is helpful.
They get a cat in exchange.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so before he transforms into this, I'm just gonna throw this out there. He gets his head shot off by an anti-Titan sniper. Like, his head gets shot clean off. And he somehow lives. Okay, it was because he got caught by someone of royalty and then transformed into... Okay, so let me give you an idea on how big this is. Alright, here is a size comparison chart.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Which one? Okay, so you see the Colossal Titan, the massive one.
Very muscular.
Yeah. Next to him, immediately on the right, is the Beast Titan. And on his right is the Attack Titan. That is Eren. Right. So, and of course, like, way off, that's just a human. Alright. So, with the Founding Titan's power, no joke, this is what Eren becomes.
Whoa.
And all those Titans in front of him, they are Colossal Titans.
Yikes.
Interesting.
But, man,
Yeah, and
that's interesting.
just throwing this out there, those things could emit steam that would burn you alive.
Well, it's a good thing that fire and heat resistance is a major part of the Rathalos armor.
And while in this state, he can also just conjure up any of the 9 Titans he wants. Like, they just come out of those giant bones that make up his body. Like, you can just summon other Colossal Titans, Beast Titans, Armor Titans, previous Warhammers, like, any of the 9. From, like, past lives, he can do it.
But that's a specific circumstance, right?
Then when his neck gets blown up by dynamite, no joke, he becomes a Colossal Titan himself and keeps fighting. It takes a shit ton to stop him.
Interesting. Well, with the last 5 minutes, Sean, do you want to bring up any more interesting, mind-blowing feats?
Well, Monster Hunter is definitely going to be more than a match for Eren. Looking more into Altarian, because that's the big bad I recall from when I was replaying the game. Not only is this thing can also manipulate souls, it tries to steal souls, and it doesn't affect Monster Hunter. If you want to talk about resolve, Monster Hunter is not giving up anytime soon. Or hell, with other ammos, like poison ammos, cluster bombs, and even Wyvern Fire being able to take down these giant monsters, I think just the firepower alone is going to buy Monster Hunter plenty of time. Especially when they can avoid attacks the size of meteors.
Wow. Clearly a Fire Emblem fan.
It's a romance option in the game. And plus, Eren's in a handicap match constantly. Eren not only has to deal with the Monster Hunter, but also the Palico. Well, Monster Hunter's in danger, they can let the Palico fight for them while they go recover and plan an attack, or just hide. Their stealth can even fool the likes of flying monsters like Rathalos. So I don't know if Eren has that kind of tracking. But I think with the weapons and tools that Monster Hunter has, I think it's enough to defeat Eren's incredible durability. Plus, Monster Hunter's faster, more versatile, and possibly more durable.
Is that how you want to end your defense, Sean, with the Monster Hunter?
And plus, the only other thing I'll add is, like, we still don't know if poison can hurt Eren. I think it could.
But there's still the argument that his natural healing could just protect him from that. Again, there's no evidence for or against in Attack on Titan because no one thinks of using poison, apparently.
Alright, and so if Sean's going to end his notes on that, mate, is there anything else you want to bring up for the last 2 minutes?
Nothing I can think of that would actually help.
Right, so we're all good. We want to stop a bit earlier and then hear my conclusion?
Mate, phenomenal job.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I was kind of split this episode. I think this is the most split I've been so far. Even more so than Reinhard versus Nora with you guys. Right.
You don't know these characters.
Yeah, so this has technically been my other introduction to Attack on Titan, especially its main character. So, alright, so we're stopping the timer. Sean, are you happy with your saying?
I think I got everything I can say out of the way.
Mate, are you ready for the conclusion?
Go for it.
Right then. Now, from hearing this at first, I was certain Eren's gonna stomp this matchup. Now, I think all three of us can agree, if this was primarily Monster Hunter versus Eren without Titan, then Monster Hunter wins.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
So this comes to the Titan forms, really. So, the Monster Hunter is definitely outmatched in terms of size and strength. That is guaranteed. But the Monster Hunter faces that type of competition through their entire playthrough of Monster Hunter World, and my thing was, right, how does the Monster Hunter World monsters compare to the Titans that Eren has faced? And I think we can conclude that the Colossal Titan is the biggest bad, aside, this Titan. So, the other monster was... What was the dragon's name again, Sean?
Which one? Alterion?
Yeah, Tarion, the one with the wings.
Yeah, Alterion.
Yeah, so how does Colossal Titan compare with that dragon? It seems as though despite Colossal Titan's overwhelming strength and power, it pales in comparison to that dragon. This is a dragon that is stated to destroy the world. Now, of course, this isn't like an Alderwind dragon that eats infinity, otherwise this would be GG, no reason. But,
Well, yeah.
it's very clear, though, that if the Monster Hunter had to go toe-to-toe with this thing, it can handle something like the Colossal Titan, and the Colossal Titan was a bit of a match. Like, Eren really struggled against the Colossal Titan originally, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he won by outsmarting it.
Yeah, whereas the Monster Hunter, of course, the other gimmick of the Monster Hunter is it looks for weaknesses in the monsters it fights, even ones that are super armored, and even then, it has weaponry that can pierce through their armor, which is saying interesting. But then came the healing factor. I was thinking, right, despite the weaponry, are those weaponry kind of pointless if you can't even land that killing blow on Eren? Now, the healing factor is kind of inconsistent, though, because, of course, it could be hit with a blow that can overtax the healing factor, and Eren can't heal from it. Or he can heal, but it takes a long time, whereas Monster Hunter can take onslaught of damage, not only recover from it, but has better ways to heal on the fly thanks to his equipment. But now, of course, this is the other thing. The major Titan that Eren turns on. Now, let's say, hypothetically, Eren was able to go into this Titan form. This is the one I think Monster Hunter would struggle at. Because not only do you have to deal with Eren, you have to deal with all the other Titans. But, of course, then there's that monster that Monster Hunter had to deal with. The one that could destroy reality. You're telling me Monster Hunter's capable of matching something like that? So, an army of Colossal Titans might be overwhelming, but mate, you've stated as well, Eren can still die in this form, can't he? In fact, if he takes too much damage, he has to revert into another Colossal Titan.
Yeah, but I won't say how because of spoilers.
Of course. But now, assuming that goes to the point I brought up before. Comparing a Colossal Titan to the monsters that Monster Hunter faces, unfortunately, a Colossal Titan just doesn't seem that impressive for Eren's arsenal. And this monster is his ace in the hole. This is the monster he must revert to truly have an advantage over the powerhouses that Monster Hunter goes up against. And the other thing as well, the Monster Hunter keeps his equipment and allows him so that he can traverse the area. Like the grappling hook, I didn't think the Monster Hunter had that. I was thinking, if the Monster Hunter can't even get close to Eren's weaknesses, then the Monster Hunter is just fighting a losing battle. But because it has the maneuverability and of course the help of an ally that can supply weapons and abilities and healing, Eren is fighting through his willpower. And unfortunately, that's just not enough to score a win. I do believe Eren could score a final blow, but I think in comparison, I have to give it to the Monster Hunter from Monster Hunter World. The Monster Hunter wins.
Oh boy.
It was a tough call. I was thinking Eren was going to smash this competition. I was like, okay, one turns into a monster, one doesn't. What are you going to do?
The biggest concern I had that I didn't know going into this was the Thunder Spears, because thunder damage is a weakness, and also just how insanely durable Titans actually are.
Yeah, but then it turns out Eren doesn't use them, and that's not how the spears work.
Yeah, even though upon saying that though, it really is unfortunate for Eren that even his best Titan form, if the Monster Hunter was a royal family, isn't really that much of a hindrance compared to the competition of the Monster Hunter. Like
also in saying that,
oh, go ahead.
Also in saying that, it probably just be like Eldian royalty.
Yeah, but it is really surprising.
So there's a chance it might not work anyway. If it was going to be brought up in a death battle, it'd be brought up as like, it's not going to give him the win, but we can do some really cool stuff with it, and that would look badass.
I do think Eren has a lot more advantages than I was thinking, though. Like being able to switch Titans on the fly, being able to heal himself without items, I get, is also an advantage. And also definitely power-wise, you can give it to Eren.
I think what I'll give Eren is his versatile transformations and his pure strength. But the problem is, though, because the Monster Hunter is versatile and more maneuverability, and of course has
it's more
consistent healing, that's what kind of threw me off. It's like, Eren's healing factor is so inconsistent. Can you rely on that?
By the way, versatile transformations, it's more so just versatile abilities. Like, after he ate the Warhammer, he just gained its power in his own Attack Titan form.
Right. So, yeah, I think in conclusion, I put my vote onto Monster Hunter. So, officially, on this lad's episode, Monster Hunter is claiming the victory against the Titan.
GG is made.
So,
GG.
Sean, you got your revenge technically, because
Thank God for that.
you're still sore about Nora versus Reinhardt.
A little bit.
Look,
To be
man.
fair, Overwatch stories are now out, so hooray.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Honestly, all
it
this
works
has
out.
done is just refueled me wanting to see Eren in a death battle.
Yeah.
Sure. And
Again,
Mate did phenomenal with Eren, I think.
Thank you.
yeah,
I
especially.
had to go deep into like late game stuff to see like, what do I got? What do I got? What do I got?
What's even funny was Mate was doing this at the top of his head. That's what was more impressive. Like, that was the thing he kept saying. Like, it's all up here.
Well, I know my Attack on Titan. What can I say?
So.
And that's why I like having a lads debate where someone has this insane knowledge.
Right then. So, with that said, people, that is our lads discuss death battle discussion. We've talked about Guts versus Dimitri, and we've talked about Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer, and we've had our next lads debate. The next lads debate is going to be between me and Sean. Without spoiling, it's going to be a Halloween episode.
Wait, we're doing that one? I thought you guys were doing a different one.
Now, because of the next third topics as well, we thought we're going to do the Halloween one next. So I've already had to get my notes ready for that. But I won't say what it is, people, because I tell you what, here's a hint. It's to do with stalkers. It is a stalker-themed Halloween episode.
Yeah, that's you and Maid, not me and you.
No, I said me and mate.
You said you and Sean.
Oh, did I?
You did.
Oh, oops. My bad there, people. No, it's between me and
Sorry,
mate.
mate. I'm gonna be taking all your notes. Thank you.
So, yeah. So that's your hint, people, for the Halloween episode. It's going to be a stalker-themed episode, so leave us predictions. But, of course, what are going to be the next 3 topics that you all voted for? Well, we did ones where do Death Battle haters deserve to be shamed, changing Death Battle conclusions, YouTubers versus YouTubers. In first place is changing Death Battle conclusions, so that is our next 3rd topic.
That's gonna be fun.
Now, so for people who might be confused, what do we mean by that? It could be a variety of different things, like similar with how I felt with Guts versus Dimitri. It could be either how we would end the episode in terms of analysis or fight, or maybe there are episodes we disagree with and how we would actually explain how the other would win and how we would go about it. So it's a variety of different ways. Like, there could have been episodes where we agree with it, but we just think they could have done better with it. So that's our next 3rd topic. After that is do Death Battle haters deserve to be shamed? And one I'm kind of interested in, YouTubers versus YouTubers, because mate brought up something that happened at RTX. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I have to just keep reminding myself of what was said at that panel.
So look forward to those and leave us your predictions of what you think the next Stalker matchup is going to be, or what the Stalker matchup is that me and mate are going to be participating in. With all that said and done, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw here, be sure to stick around. I have more content like this in the future. You're on it, mate.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. If you did not enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. Let us know what you thought about Guts vs. Dimitri the next time, and just this debate. Also, there's something coming out on Bill's channel that I'm quite looking forward to. So, check that out. It might be out before this, it might come out after.
It might be a bit random, but we'll see.
Yeah, but maybe check it out, because we plan on doing more of it in the future.
So high-pitched?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop that.
Hey, to be fair, it's gonna be exciting, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll come
Also,
out
click the
soon.
links to go to mine and Sean's channel and subscribe as well.
Shawnee.
Thank you folks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this session of Let's Discuss Death Battle. Let us know your thoughts on Guts versus Dimitri. Who do you got in Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer? And honestly, I think Bill may put up a poll, but do you agree that Monster Hunter wins, or do you think that Bill was wrong and Eren wins? I'm curious about your thoughts. Leave them down below. And tune into all the stuff that we've got planned, whether they be stuff on Mate's channel, stuff on my channel, or stuff coming very soon to Bill's channel. And I love reading you guys' comments. Thank you much for watching. I will see you all later.
Also, shout out to Mama Doom! Oh, I can't believe this is a thing, but it's the best thing ever.